Hello and welcome back to the Edwin Fernio Vehicle Review channel here at Edwin Fernio Vehicle Review Sales, and today we'll be taking a look at an absolute icon from the 1970s, the Yamaha DT175. Now in just a moment's time, Ed is going to be taking this out for a little bit of a spin to our local village and back again, but before we do that, we're going to tell you a little bit more about this superb machine. Right, so let's start with a little bit of history. And in and around the early 1970s, Yamaha gradually transitioned its trail models from the CT designation to the DT range. Notably, the CT3 was the one that evolved into what became the DT175, and the AT3 became the DT125. The front wheel size was increased from 19 inches to 21 inches, and there was a bit of, let's say, incremental tuning and styling changes, but really the DT175 remained largely consistent up until 1977, and this model falls within that bracket. This model is from 1977. Then for the 1978 model year, Yamaha introduced the MX style redesign that brought some major updates to the chassis and the running gear of the DT range, and the DT175 MX remained popular until the early 1980s, when the introduction of the UK 125cc learner law reduced demand for 175cc machines. Now, despite this, the DT175 base models continue to sell well in competition use, though after a period Yamaha's trail bikes were fully redesigned with liquid cooled engines, with the DT200 replacing the DT175 MX, and the final major evolution was the DT230 Lanza, and that was sold in several markets but not officially in the UK, although it was technically far more advanced than the old CT based models. Many enthusiasts felt it lacked maybe that character that its predecessors had. So back to this one that we're looking at today, and cast your mind back to the mid-70s here in the UK, where the need for a dual purpose bike for both green laning and road racing was certainly becoming a thing, and Yamaha's answer to this was the DT series, and it quickly earned a reputation for being reliable, lightweight, economical, and most importantly, a lot of fun to ride. Now, we know that they were certainly very popular, but trying to get statistics on exactly how many were sold here in the UK is nigh on impossible. So if you owned one of these, let us know in the comments. So back then in the mid 1970s, a Yamaha DT175 would have cost you around £500 new. So it certainly wasn't a cheap purchase. Again, if you owned one, what did you pay for it? What is a bike like this worth today? What is this bike worth today? Well, as I always say, you'll have to head over to Ed's website to find out all the information on this, and all the details are on the screen, so do feel free to go and check it out. Now then, a few tech specs for this particular mid-70s model, and at the heart of it is this 171cc single-cylinder air-cooled two-stroke engine, which produces around about 16 horsepower, and it doesn't sound like much, but thanks to this bike's lightweight design, it delivers plenty of performance for country roads, commuting, trail riding, nipping around the corner to the local shop, and Ed will show you that riding experience very shortly. Now, a neat feature of the DT175 is the auto lube oil injection system. So rather than requiring riders to pre-mix two-stroke oil with petrol before every fill-up, the auto lube system automatically supplies the correct amount of oil to the engine. Now this makes the bike obviously much easier to manage on a daily basis, and it also helps reduce engine wear and eliminating the worry or possibility of getting that fuel mixture incorrect. So the DT features a 5-speed gearbox, which is strong, is dependable, and many surviving examples like this one, still changing gear, absolutely fine, no problem at all. Now, for a trail bike of the 1970s, the DT175 has impressive suspension. At the front we have telescopic forks, and at the rear it uses twin shock absorbers. This setup works well on both road riding and also for green laning too. Although suspension technology has obviously moved on quite a lot since the 70s, this is no slouch. It still performs well when you need it to. And now, in terms of the brakes, we have drum brakes on both the front and the rear, and Ed will test them when he goes out shortly, no doubt, but absolutely fine. The DT175, it's a nice lightweight steel frame, and it was designed to cope with everyday use as well as muddy trails and rough tracks. And at around 105 kilograms dry, it's a wonderfully light motorcycle, making it very easy to handle and very easy to maneuver too, which is again what you need if you're going and doing a little bit of off-roading as well. Now, the riding position is nice and upright with some nice wide handlebars, a lovely slim fuel tank, and a really comfortable seat. So again, whether you're riding for a longer period of time or you're going over bumpy ground, this bike's going to feel comfortable, nicely balanced and agile, I think is probably a good word to describe it. Now, it features a fuel tank which holds approximately 9 litres of fuel, and combined with the engine's excellent fuel economy, this offers a very respectable range between fill-ups. Visually, this Yamaha DT175 still looks great. It's done roughly 3,000 miles, would you believe it or not, which is certainly not a lot for its age. It's not brand spanking new condition like the Suzuki TS250 we reviewed was, which had update paint job and that kind of thing, but it still looks great. High mudguard, slim tank, that upswept exhaust, classic paint job, and it's all still intact. It all looks great, and it's aged like a fine wine. Now, how reliable were these machines back in the day? How reliable are they now? Well, the DT175 developed an outstanding reputation for being tough, dependable, easy to maintain, easy to work on. It's air-cooled engine, simple electrics, solid construction. It means there wasn't a huge amount to go wrong. Of course, like with any older classic bike, any old two-stroke, you will have to look after it. But if you look after a bike like this, it will absolutely look after you. And I've heard stories of these bikes being ridden and ridden and ridden and just keep going and going and going and going. So I'd really be interested to know if you've owned one back in the day, or if you still own one now, what did you put it through? What have you been putting it through, and what have you thrown at it, and how has it coped with it? Because they have a bit of a reputation, say very popular. Right, enough of me waffling. It's absolutely time Ed took this classic DT175 out for a test ride. He's very excited about this one, almost as excited as he was about the TS250. In fact, no, I think he's more excited about this.
So here we go. We're off on my favourite bike of ever, the little DT175. Now, a lot of you know that I'm always raving about a DT. This is the bike that I actually had, not this actual one, but this actual bike, back when I was around 14, I would say. I absolutely loved it. A great bike, lovely two-stroke. So listen to that. Never going to be a speed king. According to Max, I've got to keep my speed down because apparently I'm going far too fast on these things. And here we go. I'll just nip down into Colton. And because we can. Yes, I'm loving it. Oh, it brings back a lot of happy memories. A lot of happy memories. Fetching the cows up when I was started milking when I left school. What a lovely, lovely bike. I could ride this all day, but Max tells me I can't go too far. But the Colton people love me and listen to this little two-stroke. So as for the bike, it pulls very, very well. It brakes well. You can hear it go through the gears, absolutely perfect. I've just come back from the ABR, which is at Radley Hall in Warwickshire. We've just been on the Motor Marini stand, which is obviously what we sell at the main. I'd have loved to have taken this there. We just, I don't know why we didn't take it actually. But I'm not going to go through the water again. Yeah, what a great bike. I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it. Pulling up back at the garage now. You can go off-road with this. I'd love to try riding this. I'll flick a bit of the old dirt up, it'd be rude not to. I'm having far too much fun on this. I must get back to my day job.
Right, so Ed's back from his little excursion to Colton and back. And did you go through the brook, Ed?
Of course.
Last time on the TS250 Suzuki, you weren't sure about going through the brook, but no problems with the DT175 straight through?
Yeah, straight through. A little bit of more water in there than I was expecting, but yeah, no, went straight through, no problems at all.
Fabulous. Well, I'm glad you had a good time out and about. It was.
I loved it. I loved it.
I was going to say, when you came back and you were tazzing around the, the little estate out there, you looked like you were having a great time.
I was.
So did you have a DT175?
Yeah, as I said on the road test, obviously back in 84, 83, 82, somewhere around that area, I had exactly the same bike as this, but as a field bike. I was living on a farm then, so we used to use it as a field bike to go and fetch the cows up, and the cows at 7 o'clock in the morning when I used to start it up used to start coming towards the farm, so it was quite funny. They knew the sound of the bike that was coming to fetch them.
It was almost like you trained the cows to the sound of the DT175, right?
Yeah, I had a Yamaha dog. It was brilliant. it was great for fetching the cows in.
Well, I'll tell you what a bit of kit this is, and extremely popular back in the day, and probably, I'd imagine, still keeping their popularity all the way up to today. So what was it like going back out on it again?
Well, it was obviously a lot faster when I was a lot lighter. I mean, you know, they were never a fast bike. They're not built for speed. They're built for low ground power, really.
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't want to be really pushing this above 65, 70 mile an hour, really, because she's an old bird.
Yeah,
you know,
of course.
But it rides as good as when I was a kid. It brought back a lot of memories, and I really, really enjoyed riding it.
And nice going out on a classic two-stroke and a bit of on-road, a little bit of off-road, and like you say, through the brook as well. Now, a couple of little things that we love about some of these older classic bikes is what they come with.
Yeah.
What have we got over here, Ed? You look like you've got some trinkets.
That's an original brochure for it. Well, it was only a piece of paper back in the day, but that is an original one, and I know that because I actually wrote to Yamaha when I was a child to get one of those leaflets, and they did send me them through.
There you go. There's a bit of history just in itself, and we've got a Haynes manual.
Haynes manual, a original owner's manual, and an original tin number plate for it. Now, this is recorded with only 3 owners from new.
Well, it's interesting because, as I say, so many of these were sold back in the day. They were so popular. Just to see one back out again, being put out on the road. As I say, I know you're quite fond of this.
I'm very fond of it.
This machine, especially more now, probably now.
Yeah, well, now I've been out on it again. It's brought back all them memories. I am really not excited about selling this one, but you know, at the end of the day, if you look in the showroom how many bikes I've got, and I have only got one bum, so I can only ride one bike at a time.
That's right. Well, there you go. Well, there's plenty of motorcycles here. We're in a sea of motorcycles. If you want any more information about this DT175 or all the other motorbikes and vehicles that Ed's got here down at his shop. All the information is on the screen. Ed, thanks for taking time out your busy day. I know it's a tough job, but someone's got to do it. Come and ride this around.
I really enjoyed this one actually, so it's not a chore at all.
Well, I know it's very tough on him. We've got some more trail bikes. I'm sure you'll take out very soon. But if there's anything you want us to do a review on as well, that's on Ed's website, let us know in the comments. But from us and this absolute icon, mid-70s to 80s to even 90s icon, I'd say, we'll see you again very soon.
Yeah, thanks for watching.